Thank you, Congressman. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. You have long been a friend and ally of Georgia, and the Georgian people deeply appreciate your tireless efforts to protect Georgian democracy and stand with a society that is fighting for freedom. You are a friend of Georgia and the author of the Megubari Act, so let's begin our conversation with this vital piece of legislation. Georgian Dream, along with Prime Minister Irakli Kobakhidze, his foreign minister, claimed that the Georgia Support Act is dead and can no longer be enacted. What is the reality? How likely is it to pass the Senate?
Absolutely. My view is that the people of Georgia are making a difference. And indeed, I want to thank indeed the U.S. Georgia Friendship Association, the diaspora of Georgia in America, around the world, is so well respected and so assimilated into society. And so Megubari passed the House of Representatives 349 to 42, almost 90% vote. And the ones who voted against it really are somewhat isolationist. They're not against Georgia. They're against any American involvement anywhere in the world. And so the bottom line is that the 90% was really an understatement. And so it just couldn't be better. 349-42 in the House of Representatives. And in the Senate, I'm really grateful that we had different rules that we could not attach it to other legislation. But in the Senate, we have every opportunity to keep proceeding, and we will. We have the strong support of the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi, also Republican, and then Democrat. We're grateful for the leadership of Senator Jeanne Shaheen of New Hampshire. And so over and over again, there is strong support.
I hope the propaganda machine is listening, but just to clarify, how realistic is to override Senator Marquine Malin's veto in the Senate at this point? To be honest, this position came as a surprise to me because back in 2020, I interviewed him and he clearly stated that he was one of the initiators of sanctions against Ivanishvili, and he had no doubt that Ivanishvili is a Russian oligarch. What do you think changed after Marquine Malin moved from the House of the Senate?
The good news is that actually in the U.S. Senate, one person, particularly of the majority party, can block a vote, but that doesn't mean they can stop a vote. And so ultimately, I'm confident that with the strong support of the chairman of the Armed Services Committee, Roger Wicker, with the ranking member support, Senator Jeanne Shaheen, of the Foreign Affairs Committee, over and over on Democrat and Republican. It's the support for the Megubari bill is as it was in the House 349 to 42. It'll be 90% or more who are supportive, and I'm confident that as people contact Senator Mullen and get the information to him, that he will understand how important this is for the people of Georgia, that there be passage of the Megubari bill, which is also very much supported by the State Department.
The State Department responded very strongly to the head of Georgia's security service. Why does Georgian Dream feel entitled to launch attacks on Marco Rubio's office?
We need to put in perspective Marco Rubio himself. Why is Marco Rubio in the United States as an American citizen, as Secretary of State? Because his family fled communism, fled Cuba. And so you don't have to explain to him the dangers of totalitarian dictatorships. It catastrophically affected his family. And so over and over again, we've got people who in the administration, the Trump administration, who stand for freedom and democracy. We've got a wonderful leader, the Ambassador Mike Waltz, to the United Nations. He'll be standing strong for the people of Georgia. And so over and over again, this administration is not going to be slow walking. Last week, the State Department called in the ambassador of Georgian Dream to point out the irresponsibility of the Georgian Dream government attacking President Trump. And over again, President Trump, as we see, on the world stage is recognized as leader of the free world. And I'm confident, his administration will be working to continue supporting. It's the people of Georgia who inspire Americans to stand by their side for people around the world.
Before we continue and go into the procedural details of the Megubari Act, I want to ask, what was your reaction to the recent sanctioning of the Foreign Minister of Finland and OSCE chair in office by the Georgian government? Georgian Dream has crossed every red line and is provoking the West on a daily basis. What should the response to be?
We have the Finnish foreign minister and head of OSCE that was a disruption of their meetings in Tbilisi and fining. I mean, that's inconceivable. But over and over again, the American people, the people of the European Union, indeed, around the world, there is strong support and recognition and appreciation of the people of Georgia. And as I mentioned in the Foreign Affairs Committee just last month, there was an overwhelming vote in the House of Representatives, another vote to support non-recognition of the illegitimate Georgian Dream government. And so, over and over again, the Georgian Dream illegitimate government knows that around the world there is recognition that the people of Georgia are standing up for freedom, standing up for their liberty, and hey, what strong people of Georgia. And so, what an inspiration.
But now the most important question is when? Ivanishvili is taking bigger and bolder steps toward dictatorship every day. Now he's planning to ban political parties and threatens peaceful protesters on Rustaveli Avenue with prison time after issuing 5,000 Georgian lari fines. Will the West, will the United States respond to this? Will there be sanctions against Ivanishvili and his inner circle?
I'm confident it's coming, and because hey, it's so clear that the fake legislation that was put together by War Criminal Putin and the Duma to provide for grounds for arresting people for free speech, it was adopted by the Duma, which is a front and puppets of War Criminal Putin, but then it was adopted by the dictatorship in Venezuela, Maduro. Then it was adopted, the same legislation, by the Georgian Dream Party in Republic of Georgia. And so it becomes very clear, connecting the dots. Dictators are working together. The good news is democracies are working together. And we can see that democracies will prevail. War Criminal Putin knows that his time is at risk of his service or his dictatorship. And also we see how brave the people of Ukraine. What a message that is to the people of Georgia to be brave, to stand up and to resist war criminal Putin. And then another example that should be used, and I work very closely with the new government of Syria. Last year, I was identified by the Assad dictatorship in Syria as an enemy of the state. And then 6 months later, just 2 months ago, I had the opportunity to be in President Assad's office with the new president of Syria. And so it was a 54-year dictatorship was overthrown. Socialist dictatorship was overthrown. And so over and over again, dictatorships are being removed. We want peacefully done within the country, and that's what we want for the people of Georgia, peacefully a change of government. But it should be by voting, by democratic processes. And now we see in Syria, as we see the survival and success and victory by the people of Ukraine. Over and over again, democracies are going to prevail.
President Trump recently said that following the historic agreement in Gaza, it's now Ukraine's turn. Earlier, there were negotiations on the Zangezuri corridor in the region, which might soon be called the Trump corridor. But without Georgia, this region can't be stable for anyone. Given Georgia's geostrategic location, can we expect that Trump will soon turn his attention to Georgia as well? Will our country enter Trump's strategic objectives?
I'm glad you pointed out. It really is. Okay, he believes in peace through strength and not war. And so, as we see as his success around the world, Azerbaijan, Armenia, and India, Pakistan, over and over again, he is working to, and now with the success, I believe, in Gaza, and bringing together 35 countries. He has an ability that is just remarkable as leader of the free world. And as leader of the free world, over and over again, as Congress voted overwhelmingly to support the people of Georgia, 349 to 42, as the committee just last week or last month voted non-recognition in the Foreign Affairs Committee of the Georgian Dream illegitimate. Now it's going to be more focus on the situation in the Republic of Georgia, and it's going to be very clear.
In recent days, we've seen the Trump administration announce trade war with China. In this context, how is it possible that the pro-China, pro-Iran regime of Ivanishvili continues to act so freely, without consequences, despite its violations both against the Georgian people and against key partners like Europe and the United States?
It's going to be very clear the subversion of the Georgian Dream government by the Chinese Communist Party, and also Secretary Scott Bessent, the Treasurer of the United States, is recognizing indeed that this is a means of trying to control the rare earths of Central Asia, and so it's a threat to America's new allies of Uzbekistan, of Kazakhstan, hopefully. Kyrgyzstan. Over and over again, we've got opportunities, and it's really for the benefit of all of these countries. We're not against the people of Russia at all. I've had many wonderful visits to Russia, and it really is sad to me to see war criminal Putin subvert that country. But the bottom line is that other countries, as we saw, who would ever imagine the agreement between Azerbaijan and Armenia? What an incredible achievement. We have a president who can do that, and to have the president bring together Turkey and Saudi Arabia and Jordan and over and over again countries to work together for peace through strength. He tries to work. Hey, the ultimate, he tried to work with Kim Jong-un, okay? And so he likes to work with everyone, but when he finds out that they mock him, and we saw the Imbasvili call President Trump a trickster. We saw the blocking of the Trump Tower at Batumi. We see the comments that are negative about Vice President J.D. Vance. And so over and over again, the Georgian Dream illegitimate government is revealing itself as being subverted by, or maybe even a puppet of war criminal Putin, the Chinese Communist Party, and then a close relationship with the murderers who are there in Tehran, who through IEDs murdered thousands of American troops who served in Iraq and also in Lebanon.
And yet, time is running out. Every day, the regime is destroying the roots of democracy in Georgia and creating new obstacles for those who fight for freedom. So I must ask, when might sanctions be expected? When could the Georgia Support Act pass? Are we talking about the month or two? And how does the ongoing budget crisis in the U.S. so-called shutdown affect the timing of these processes?
I'm very, very optimistic for the people of Georgia, but it's the people of Georgia who have inspired people of the United States to get a 90% vote in the House of Representatives, to have 95% support waiting to vote in the Senate. And so the delay in the Senate is simply legislative process. And we'll get through that. And indeed, with President Donald Trump's leadership and his leadership of the State Department last week, we see efforts to show the illegitimate Georgian Dream regime, as long as the Democrats, the rules of the U.S. Senate to have a resolution passed, a continuing resolution of a budget, it takes 60 votes. Republicans have been able to achieve 55, but until we get 60 votes, the government of the United States is, and all other legislation is going to be held back. So it has nothing to do with Megubari. has everything to do with internal political disagreements, which, hey, show democracy where everybody has a voice, and such a voice that even requires 60 votes. But the bottom line, Megubari will ultimately be passed because it's been inspired by the people of Georgia.
Congressman Wilson, you were one of the first American politicians to recognize Georgia's independence back in the late 90s during the presidency of Zviad Gamsakhourdia. Did you ever imagine you would play such a significant role in the Georgia's political life?
Not really, and I need to let you know my affection for this really goes back to high school. I campaigned for Barry Goldwater for president. His campaign was "Why not victory over communism?" So all my life, I've had a dream for Central and Eastern Europe and the former Soviet republics to be free. And so I was an election observer in Bulgaria in 1990. And then I'd like to point out that our family has such a fondness for the people of Central and Eastern Europe. Two of my sons served in Baghdad and Iraq, Army and Navy and the doctor, Navy doctor, with troops from Georgia. And hey, when we would go and visit, the security was being provided by the troops from Georgia because we knew they didn't have caveats that they would protect us. And we know how successful and they were in helping the NATO alliance to try to help the people of Afghanistan. The U.S. Georgia Friendship Association makes such a difference, and we look forward to you visiting in Washington anytime. But again, the people of Georgia are the people who inspire those of us who have a deep love and affection for the people of Georgia. God bless Georgia. God bless America. Oh, hey, Donald Trump loves to build towers, and so I just know one day we'll be there for the ribbon cutting and groundbreaking of Trump Tower Tbilisi to go with Batumi also. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this honest and truly meaningful interview.
Thank you.